trust me, nothing prepares you for PhD. Whew. First of all, I just want to let you know that you're going to see premium shiggy. I was doing 4 heavy courses, like a PhD, right? It's supposed to be research. 4. In fact, I should have done 5. This PhD made me cry. I cried so much every time because I was tired, I was frustrated, I didn't know where to start from, I didn't know what to do. I don't even like maths. And I feel like I may even have dyscalculia. I have never felt stupid in my life. I felt stupid in this PhD program. Secondly, why am I coding in a public health program? It feels like my brain is like bigger. I can feel it. Like my brain is expanding, my brain is larger because we would eat a lot of food, a lot of free food. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. And on today's video, I'm basically going to be doing like a rundown on what my first year in PhD school was like, or has been. Was like. Whew. First of all, I just want to let you know that you're going to see premium shiggy. I know that obviously for anybody who basically decided to come and do a PhD, you understand that it's because you like books, you're inquisitive and things like that. But honestly, trust me, nothing prepares you for PhD. And I'm not just saying grad school because I have done 2 master's degrees, and I know what that's like. That's like grad school, right? But like this one, PhD specifically, no. The thing, it took me this long to make the video because this is July. I finished in May. In April, technically, right? I am just recovering from like everything that was first year of PhD. And I'm just going to just do like a brief because I don't want this video to go on for too long, so that I don't give myself extra headache thinking about all the things I went through. But I'm just going to run through. I think I have like 5 things down, 5 things I want to talk about on first year of PhD, what to expect, what it's like, the realities of a PhD, because basically like there are 1,000,001 videos on how to get into PhD, right? But there's barely nothing on staying in your PhD program. Like I didn't see anything. Nothing prepared me for this. Anyways, first of all, coursework. So you know how they always talk about how PhD is, research, blah blah blah. I was prepared for research, right? I did not realize that you still had to do like a lot of coursework. And this coursework I'm talking about is not like masters. In my masters, I did just 3 courses in my first semester, and I think 2, and then my thesis. Like that's like 6. But in PhD, tell me why I was doing 4 heavy courses. Like a PhD, right? It's supposed to be research. 4. Was it 4 I did? I think it was 4 that I did. I'll try to confirm and put it on the screen if I'm wrong. I did 4 courses. In fact, I should have done 5. Because now, I basically cannot do my qualifying exams in 2nd year because I still have, by my school's policies, you can't do your qualifying exams until you are technically done with all of your coursework. And I have so much coursework that I will not be done until first semester of my 3rd year. Why didn't anybody tell me that the PhD is just all about research is a lie? And I'm telling you that, I take it from me, it is a lie. And this coursework was so heavy in the fact that I was doing epidemiology, I was doing statistics, I was doing health behavior. We also had this seminar where, like a colloquium basically where students, is compulsory for first year PhD students, where they bring lecturers, they bring people from outside. In fact, this year, last year, they brought in the chief editor of I think American Public Health Journal. So basically, that was also like a course on its own. That was like one credit course, and we also had like a seminar thing for first year PhD students. I did the colloquium, a seminar. I did health behavior. I did epidemiology. I did biostats. It wasn't biostats. It was quantitative research methods, and I oh no God, I don't think I have cried aside from when my mom died. This PhD made me cry because basically I don't like quantitative research methods. I am a qualitative researcher. That is what I enjoy doing. But tell me why I had to. It was a compulsory, like you have to do it. You can't tell them that, oh, I'm not interested. And it was so hard in the way that I had to code. We were using R to code. Do you know how hard it is? R, I had to code. I had to do calculations. I had to do, oh my God. It was bad. I cried so much every time because I was tired. I was frustrated. I didn't know where to start from. I didn't know what to do. Every time I kept on questioning why I actually came to do this PhD program, because I was like, why is it this hard? When I was coming in, I was prepared to do research. Like, I was very prepared, like, oh, research, yeah, cool, fine. Qualitative research, not quantitative research. We're doing ANOVA, matrices, probability, those things, and all the likes. Oh my God, it was worse in second semester because we had to do more. They were like, oh, multiple regression, logistic regression, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't even like maths. And I feel like I may even have dyscalculia because no matter how much they explain this thing to me, I would understand in that moment, right? But immediately after that, I would not remember. I would not understand it anymore. I tried so hard. I just could not understand it. I have never felt stupid in my life. I felt stupid in this PhD program. I felt absolutely stupid because I was like, I'm smart, right? Why is it so hard for me to understand this thing? And that was when I just realized I think I just have dyscalculia because I cannot understand the basic concept of this thing. And the funniest part was that you would have to do it, then you would now have to like translate your results. So the way it works is that, so you know when you read research papers and where they do like statistical analysis, and then at the end they tell you that, oh, what this means is that the association between this thing and this thing is very high, you know, confounding for all other factors, blah, blah, blah. You see, that's basic part where they try to make you understand like in plain English, in plain terms. I would have to like do the course, the calculation, the statistics. With R, I was coding, and coding is very hard. You know why I said that? You're coding. I have no background. First of all, I do not like maths. Secondly, why am I coding in a public health program? Like, I was not informed. Nobody told. Nah, I don't know how I passed, but eventually I think my overall grades in first year was 4.91, my cumulative GPA, of which I was like, oh my God, I barely survived. Now that's just one. Secondly, you will read like you have never read in your life. Because first of all, there's this course, the one in the health behavior one. So basically, it wasn't health behavior actually. It was research methods. It wasn't health behavior. Health behavior was in second year. There's this course, research methods. Basically, what they do is that they bring a lot of like papers on different kinds of research, you know, qualitative research, quantitative, longitudinal research, different kinds of research basically, right? They bring it and they're like, oh, you have to review this paper. So the instructor teaches us, and then they give us these papers, and they're like, okay, basically you need to go and read the paper, like 1 or 2 papers, and then you come and you give like a summary on it. And the summary must include what the paper is about, the kind of research method they use, the kind of recruitment method they use, sampling method, because those were some of the things they were teaching us, sampling method, recruitment criteria, how they basically did their interviews, their data analysis methods. So basically we had to read a lot of these things and summarize it. Trust me, you would see some papers that do not make any sense to you. Papers where they're just talking about chemicals or this. I remember this paper that we had to read, it was on diet and magnesium and something. And I was like, if I don't even understand the concept of this paper, how am I supposed to even summarize it? You will read like you have never read in your life. And it's not just the reading part, you have to write. You would write a lot. You are basically writing from your head. You need to another thing that this first year basically showed me was the fact that they would teach you how to critically think. And when I say critical thinking, when they ask you, oh, why is this thing? And you're like, oh, it's because of this. You're like, why is that? And you're like, why? They keep on asking the whys until you come down to the nitty-gritty, the basics of why that thing is. I don't know if that makes sense. Because basically they want you to understand why you're doing this research. Who are the people that are going to benefit? Why exactly are you doing this research? Because they're letting us know that there's so many research that has been done that it was basically a waste of time, because in the researcher's mind, they assume that, for example, this was the cause of something, of which that was not actually the real cause. If you keep on breaking it down, you realize that, oh, this is what is causing this particular thing, which basically informs how you design your approach to solving that issue. Because if you think that this is the cause, trust me, the cause is buried beneath. And if you're trying to target this one, you're wasting your time, because this is what you should be targeting. The one below is what you should be targeting. Anyways, basically in first year, they're teaching you the ABCs of how to do research. Like they're really, really breaking it down. I was surprised. I didn't think that was how it worked, but I think I liked it, because they would break it down, how you write an abstract, how you write introduction, how you sample the different kinds of research that they are, you are doing longitudinal research, you are doing now why can't I remember, you're doing qualitative research, you're doing quantitative research, and all the other different kinds of research, right? They're teaching you how to recruit, how to sample, how to know your sample size, how to basically the nitty, they're actually teaching you how to do research, which was nice, because even though I assumed that, oh, they were just going to dump us, throw us straight into research, because they're like, oh, you did masters, right? No, I don't know, maybe it's just my department thing, maybe that's just the way my department or my school is, but they basically teach you the ABCs, the foundation of how to do research. They don't assume that you know how to do research, right? Which I think is a good thing. So basically you're going to be doing a lot of reading, a lot of writing, a lot of critical thinking, and you're going to be doing a lot of talking, because these classes are always very interactive in the way that you're also graded for your contributions in the class. You don't just sit and the lecturer is just talking to you. You are basically going to also talk. You're going to, so remember in second semester we had this we had to read lots of papers on health behavior theories, right? And these were very abstract papers, abstract in the way that you had to sit. It could take you 6 hours to read 2 papers because of how abstract it is. You're hearing, so when I say abstract, I mean things like, oh, how do we find out the truth? What constitutes the truth? What makes up the truth? the principle of knowing, and you're like, what does all this mean? Like, but newsflash, you basically have to learn it and you have to summarize it. Now, you know what that means. For you to summarize something, you need to be able to read it and understand it and put it down in your own words. So you need to talk, and because you need to be involved, you need to be engaged in the class, and they also grade you based on that. Also, you see that research that I said I thought that was what we're going to be doing in the first place. You're going to do that research. You will do that research because you are going to be working. The school basically pays you for working in the department for your advisor. So you still have to work. If not, you're not going to get paid, because the work you are doing is why they are paying your tuition and insurance and health insurance and all of that stuff. So you basically still have to work. You're going to do research. In as much as you are going to school, you have assignments, you have research. You also have to start working on your own research. The research you are going to do. You also have to work. Do research for your advisor or for the department. For example, one thing that really helped me in second semester was that for all of those other courses I did in second semester, I did health behavior theories, I did qualitative research methods, I did part 2 of quantitative research methods. I started to do one of my minors, which was in sexual and reproductive health, and the colloquium thing. I think I did 5 courses in second semester, and the way they assessed this, the way they assessed some of these assignments was you have to do like a paper and like a research idea, and they start working on it. Now, what I did that really helped me was the idea that I know that I want to work on for my dissertation was what I started working on in second semester. So meaning that basically when you are doing, for example, the course health behavior theories, they are helping you build the theoretical background of your research. Now, instead of me having to go and take another topic that I may not work on for my dissertation, to save time and put all my efforts in one place, it was a topic I wanted. So basically, they would keep on helping you revamp and review it to make sure it is good enough. So it's like you do the assignment, they give you feedback, you do the assignment, they can tell you, go and think of theories, you have to present the theory, and in front of the class, your instructor is going to give you feedback, your fellow students are also going to give you feedback. Then for the other one, qualitative research methods, because I'm doing a qualitative research, also basically had to do things like you write your introduction, you write like an introduction to your study, you are writing your research aim, your research objectives. They're helping you craft it. Basically, you are writing your sampling method, your proposed sampling method, your proposed population, your proposed data analysis method, your proposed what you are going to use. Basically, you see that it saves you a lot of time, because now that they have given you a lot of feedback on these things, it's easier for you to go forward. So basically now I know what I want to use. I know my topic for my dissertation basically is, even though I know the topic may shift, but at least still my course is still the same research, right? But the topic may just shift and the focus may shift a bit. I'm open to that. But basically, you have an idea, you have a framework, something to start working with. There's something to start working with. There's you know how to start, your sample population, and in fact we even had to do like a practice where you had to interview somebody. I think I had to interview 2 or 3 people. I had to interview 2 people, yes. As like sample, like, oh, okay, so this is how it is done, and this is the method I'm going to use to analyze my data. And the overall combination of that assignment was in like a kind of like a paper where I put my introduction, I put my background, how I recruited my 2 people I used, the 2 people I worked with, and the results I got from it. So saves you a lot of time and saves you energy, meaning that you can divert your energy into one place, which is a pro tip that's really really helped me. And I think I learned it somewhere, and that was what helped me. And Yes, basically, and you also have to start working on. It's not too early to start working on abstracts that you are going to present in like conferences. Most times they would advise that you should start doing this conferences thing from like second year because you're still trying to settle down first year. But um, I attended a conference in Morocco in my first year because I was invited to be a moderator, and because I want to work in industry. When I say industry, like I don't see myself working in academia. Industry is where industry is basically where I want to work in, and this conference was the African Conference of Sexual and Reproductive Health, and which was basically a way for you to meet which was basically a way for me to meet industry players, people in the industry where I want to work eventually, do some networking. And I also moderated a session there. So you have to start working towards that. And luckily for me, my school, which is a good thing, and one of the things I'm really excited about my school is the fact that when you want to go on conferences, there are funds available for you that you can apply for, and they will give it to you to support your conference journey. I think it's about $2,000 where the school gives you this money to support your conference journey. Most times it's usually not enough if you have to travel out of the US. And this money is always given just once in a semester. But if you have, depending on how you are with your department, there may be other funding sources available. You can ask, other funding sources available that you can also tap into if whatever they're giving you is not enough for the trip. Because sometimes some people may have to go for like more than one conference, like 2 or 3 conferences. So it is important that you ask. Some additional tips I would just give is basically make sure you're asking a lot of questions. Ask a lot of questions. If you don't understand anything, please ask. Then if you need to, you would, in as much as it's new, it's taking time, because coming from your country and coming into a new place like this, you're like classmates, you don't know how to interact. The earlier you start to interact well with your classmates, the better, because you all will be able to like work together to like you're studying, you have materials to share. Because if you don't do that, it will be hard for you to get the help that you need. It would be really, really hard. Because I'm an introvert, and it was very, very hard for me to start like, interact with people. But I had no choice. I basically had to. I learned it. These people, we're going to be together for the next 4 years. So the earlier we do it, the better. Another thing that helped me was that I transferred credits. I transferred credit from my master's degree into my PhD. So that reduces the time I'm going to spend in my PhD program. So make sure when you are going into a school, especially if you have your master's already, ask them if they accept credit transfers. It will save you 1 whole year off your PhD. Ask, because there are some departments that they're not interested in transferring credits, which means you're going to spend 5 years or 6 years or more. So make sure you're asking this when you are trying to get into a school. Okay, do you accept credit transfers? How does it work? Now I have done that, which has taken a whole year off my PhD program. Another thing is that I basically also had to, in first year, design or come together with my course prescription committee. So course prescription committee is also the people that are going to oversee your PhD candidacy exams when you become a candidate. So you have to make sure that these are people that ask your advisor for suggestions first of all, because it needs to be people that your advisor can work with, where they have rapport. Don't go and bring somebody that does not have rapport with your advisor, because it will make life harder for you. So for example, what I'm saying is that, for example, if you are trying to reach a particular person that's on your committee and you're unable to reach them, because your advisor has some rapport with them, they can reach them faster for you on your behalf, which makes life easier for you. You need to. One thing I'm always going to say is that whatever will make your life less stressful in your PhD program, please do it. Ask questions. Your advisor is there. Always ask them questions. They are there for you. And that's why it's important that you prayerfully and carefully choose a very good advisor. Because for me, I'm grateful to the kind of advisor I have. She's God's blessing to me, and I do not take it for granted. Ask questions. Now, your advisor is not just for academic issues alone. If you have any issue relating to settling down in the US, trying to figure out things out, they are there to help you. Very, very there to help you. In another video, I'll talk about some other ways that my advisor was actually quite helpful to me outside of academics. Ask questions. Talk to your seniors. Talk to your seniors, the people that have gone ahead of you. Ask them questions. How do I do this? How do I do that? Who do I talk to about this? Who do I do this about? Make sure you're asking them. These people know better. They have gone through the shege. So anything that can reduce the shege, even if it's by 1%, please talk to them. Talk to them. I know what I'm saying. Ask questions. Talk to them. If you're lucky to meet any faculty from your country, please interact with them. Be like this. Make sure you are cordial, because you never can tell when these things will come in handy in your program. It will help you a lot. What else do I want to add? Ask questions. Try to get a sense of what you want to do for your research on time. In fact, before I decided on what I was going to do, I had like 3 or 4 different ideas. My advisor kept telling me that there is no gap in this thing. Go back and think about it. Go back and think about it. It was after 3 or 4 ideas that I finally came up with my topic. I finally came up with it. But anyways, the earlier you know what you're going to work on, the better, because it's going to help you in choosing the people that are going to be on your committee or your candidacy committee. Because, for example, if you're going to be working with African women, you need to find somebody that works in that department. If you want to do something on tech, you need to find somebody that works in that does that research, that is going to be on your committee. So you understand why you basically need to figure out what you want to work on for your candidacy ASAP, as soon as you can. Ask questions, interact with your classmates as much as you can. There's so many resources available for you, and there are always these teaching assistants basically. They are there for you. If you need anything, they have office hours. One thing that really helped me with one of the courses that I was having trouble was the teaching assistant. He had these office hours where basically the office hours are designed to help you understand what you don't understand, like what you're currently having troubles with. They will help you go through it. They would explain to you further. Don't keep quiet. A closed mouth is a closed destiny. If you don't understand anything, ask them, talk to them. They would help you. Don't say and they're always very open and willing to learn and willing to help you. If anything, even though it has been a very stressful process, I would say that I have really enjoyed it, because I have learned new things. Like, it feels like my brain is like bigger. I can feel it. Like my brain is expanding, my brain is larger, because I've learned so many new things that I previously did not know, which is exciting, even though it's stressful. Because for most of the times when I was in school, when the school was in session, I was reading so much that my head was hot. Like, if I did this, my head was hot. Like, I could see steam coming out of my head. It was that bad, and I wasn't getting enough sleep. I couldn't sleep. It was hard for me to sleep. I was forgetting to eat, because you're always working. You're constantly always working. I couldn't sleep. I was always forgetting to eat. I was eating maybe just once or twice a day. I was losing so much weight. I looked so thin. My neck was like, I was losing so much weight. I couldn't sleep more than 3 or 4 hours. And when I sleep again, I'm constantly thinking of my research and my assignments. But one thing that helped me in first semester was that I didn't work on the weekends. I didn't do schoolwork on the weekends. I was just on the weekdays. I would spend the weekends doing something else aside from schoolwork. But that didn't particularly work for me in second semester, because I had more courses and I had a lot more I had to do. So I had assignments due on Monday. So I basically had to do the assignments over the weekend. And another thing that also pretty much shocked me about the US is the fact that if you have exams this week, so where I come from, when you have exams in like 2 weeks, they stop having lectures like 2 weeks in advance so that you can do revision. But in the US, you will do, if you have exams this week, you will still have assignments due for submission this same week. You have assignments and you will still have lectures. If for example you have a class that is twice a week on Mondays and Thursdays, and your exam is on Thursday, you will still have the class on Monday. You will have that class on Monday. Nothing will stop it. So you will basically do a lot of work when you come here. But so far, I only started to basically find joy in what I was doing in second semester, because I started to like work on my research, and that was the only thing that was bringing me joy, because the coursework was a whole lot and the stress wasn't funny. Besides that, try to enjoy it. You know, there will be a lot of activities going on in school. You know, come and eat this place. Oh, one of the things I love about being a PhD student is the fact that there's always free food. There's always free food. It's either the department is trying to host some external speakers of faculty, and they're like, oh, we're inviting you to a luncheon, or like, we're inviting you to like come and eat lunch. There was always free food. Every time we had our colloquium, we always had free food. There was always free food. And if you're a PhD student, you know how important food is, because that may be the only food you're going to have throughout the day. So there was always free food, and just make sure your ears are on the ground for things that may be for opportunities. In fact, it has been a good time. Like it's almost a year that I've been in the US, and it has been a very good time. And in another video, I'll talk about all the other things that have been of benefit to me in the US, that have made my settling in very, very easy. But basically, that's all I have to say about reflections of my first year, reflections of the first year of my PhD program. And that's all I can say. You will write, you will read a lot, you will talk a lot, you will do a lot of critical thinking. The things that you used to think were like this, you realize that they are not like this. You realize they are like this. In fact, you know, you will do research while you're working. You need to work on your personal research. You would work for your school. You're going to learn how to do research from the basics. You're going to meet amazing faculty. You would meet amazing people. You would eat a lot of food, a lot of free food. So yes, if you have any further questions, let me know. But this is all I can think of right now. And the next time I'm going to be doing this video, would most likely be after second year again. I could try, if I have time, to do like a semester by semester thing, but I don't know. I got very exhausted and tired that I spent the whole 3 or 4 weeks of holiday after my first semester recovering, so I couldn't make any video. But let's see how it goes. But yeah, it's going to be stressful, but you're going to enjoy it, because it's all worth it. It's all going to work. Think about the doctor in front of your name. Think about it. It sounds nice, yeah? It sounds nice. Exactly. It sounds nice. Just think about it. Every time school is stressing you out, just think about how there will be doctor in front of your name. Sounds nice. That would inspire you to keep on going. It's hard, but you can do it. From me to you, you can do it. So yeah, bye. I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye.